all to Identity in 15 powered by WSO2 Identity Server. Today we are going to talk about how you can plug in your existing user base to Identity Server. And let's say that you might have an existing legacy system and you might have a requirement to migrate to a new modern system. So at that time, one of the major requirements you will be face is how you can plug your existing user base to the new system. So I will explain you today about how you can do it with Identity Server. So I'm Sumit Disanayaka, currently working as a senior software engineer at WSO2 IAM team. Okay, first let's talk about what are the user stores which are available in Identity Server, and then I will discuss about how you can plug an existing user store with the Identity Server, and I will show a demonstration also about how you can plug it. Okay, user stores. There are two types of user stores which are available and in Identity Server, and first one is primary user store and the other one is secondary user store. So as you can see in the diagram, you can have only one primary user store and you can have many secondary user stores. And I will explain you more about the differences between these two types of user stores. And the primary user store is a mandatory one, and the secondary user stores are optional. And there should be only one primary user store, and you can have multiple secondary user stores. And the primary user store that is shared among each of the tenants, and but it's not the behavior in the secondary user store. It is only specific to a particular tenant which is configured that user store. Okay, let's see how what are the ways you can plug your existing user base with the Identity Server. Here I have mentioned about a few ways which you can do that. So if you have a LDAP or Active Directory user store, you can just directly plug it with the Identity Server with simple configurations. I will show them in the demonstration. And similarly, you can do it same for the JDBC user stores also. So here, when you are connecting a JDBC user store, you can there are two ways. Actually, one is you can just plug and you can use our unique ID JDBC user store, which is coming with the product. And otherwise, you can create your own user store manager by extending our class, and then you can plug it to your existing user store in that way also. So I will show the demonstration about how you are connecting JDBC user store. So the other thing is you can connect it as a federated identity provider. So that is also one way of connecting your existing user base with the WSO2 Identity Server. So let's go with the demo. In the demonstration, I will show you how you can connect existing JDBC user store with the Identity Server as a primary user store and as a secondary user store. First, I will go with how you can connect it as a primary user store. Before that, I have downloaded the Identity Server 5.11 pack and extracted it, and currently I have started it and still running. And in the when you go to the management console, you can you can see the existing users list under users and roles, and you can click on the list, and you will see the existing users in there. And currently only admin user in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect connect my custom user store as a primary user store. So for that, I will show the guideline from here. You can check out our identity documentation also. You can follow that to how to connect your user store. So here I am following this guide, and you can see first what we have to do is we have to set the type of the user store as database unique ID. So this configuration should be done in the deployment toml. When you go to the pack in the repository and the conf folder, you can see the deployment toml file. In there, you can see that this is the existing configuration for the primary user store, as it is it is coming with the embedded LDAP server. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment that, and I'm going to uncomment this. And according to the documentation, what we have to do next is we can set the database connection configurations in there. You can see that we have provided each of the configurations for each of the database types. You can follow the particular configuration section according to your user, what is the database type of your user store have. And here I have a MySQL database. So for that, I'm going to use this configuration. So as I have already created in here, I'm going to uncomment it, and yeah, that's it with the configuration. And then what we have to do is here we have provided the database script with the pack itself of the SQL script, which we have to set up the database user store. And currently you can see them in the DB script folder. You can see different SQL scripts are available for each of the database type. And currently I have already configured my SQL database, and I have using this MySQL script. So here this is the connection URL I have provided. This is the database I have already created. And the other thing is, after if we have already set up the database, the other thing is you have to put the MySQL database JDBC drive also. For that, you can download it from the MySQL site, and I have added that also into the lib folder. You can see that MySQL connector is in there. Yeah, that's it. Seems everything is okay. Now I have modified the configuration, and I'm going to restart the server. Okay, I started again. So meanwhile, starting the server, I will show you that you can see the configuration for each of the database types. And in the end of the documentation, you can see that we have provided this sample property with SQL queries. So you can use these configurations in order to plug it with your database. I mean, if you have a different structure than the structure provided in the with identity server pack, what you have to do is you have to modify these SQL queries which according to the database structure of your user store have. So you can just, if you haven't mentioned that, it will use the default one. And if it is differently structured in your user store, you have to mention your queries here. So you have to put them also in the deployment of the file. You can do that. Okay, let's wait for a moment until the service is getting started. Okay, the service almost started, and let's see what we have done. Configure wise, we have just updated the configuration file to connect the user store as a primary user store. So okay, so it's up now. Then let's go to the management console, and let's see whether the user store is connected or not. I'm going to log in. Okay, when we go to the list of the users, you can see that earlier it had only admin user. Now it has these two new users. These are stored under the new user store, which recently we have plugged. So yeah, this is how you can plug existing user store as a primary user store. So now I will show you how you can connect it as a secondary user store. So for that, as I mentioned here, there are two ways of doing that. You can do it either in management console, or you can configure it in the XML file, which I have mentioned here. I will describe them more. Okay, let's configure that secondary user store from the management console. In the you have to go to this identity, and under user store section you can click on the list to see whether is there any users secondary user stores are configured or not. You can so currently there are no user stores are configured. You can click add button to connect a new user store. So as you can hear, we can there's option to set the user store manager class. So from here you can set whether it is LDAP or whether it is Active Directory one or a JDBC one according to your existing the user store which you are going to plug in. So as in this demonstration, I'm going to use the JDBC one. So I'm selecting this unique ID JDBC user store manager, and then you have to mention the name of the user store. So for that, I'm selecting my secondary as the user store. Then similar to the similar which we saw earlier, we have to put the configuration for the connections to the database of that user store is. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm placing my existing the connection URL here, and this is the database which I have created similarly, which I have mentioned earlier, running the database script provided with the identity server. And I'm going to set the username and the password, and here I have to place and put the domain name also. Then yeah, the connection is okay. Now you can click add to add the new user store. So yeah, here it is not listed here, as it takes a couple of seconds to edit here. So when I refresh the page, yeah, you can see the new secondary user store is added. So you can modify the configuration by editing that configuration. And I need to mention that in the user store configuration file, you can page, you can see the advanced section. In there, similarly, I explained earlier, you can customize the SQL queries from here also for the secondary user store. So you can modify them according to your user store which you are going to plug in. And yeah, then let's go to the users list. And yeah, there you can see that new 2 users are there. These are available under the user store name of the secondary user store, and these users are stored under the secondary user store which I have just connected. Yeah, similarly, so you can use those credentials to log into your any other application. Just showing you log into the my account using one of these recently added user store, and I'm going to use this secondary users one, and here we can just log in as that user. So we know that this user is stored on the external user store which we have just connected. Yeah, actually that's it. And in the user store section, you can add many user store from here, and you don't need to restart the server when you're adding or disabling user stores, secondary user stores. You can just here, you can just, if you want to disable it, you can just click disable and it will be getting disabled. It will take a couple of seconds to refresh. Yeah, it is disabled. You can see that yeah, it takes, yeah, you can see that we have disabled that user store, and those users are not appearing here anymore, like that. Okay, I think you got an idea about how you can plug in existing user store with WSO2 Identity Server. And here, as we have created the connected secondary user store in the management console, and the other ways you can use the create the XML file also to configure that relevant user store. So if I go to that path, deployment server, and in the user stores, you can see that the my secondary that user store which we have created from the UI, it appears here. And you can similarly, you can configure, you can add new user stores from here also, just creating the XML file and editing the configurations under that. You can see all the configurations are available in this XML file related to that user store. So yeah, that's the demonstration which I have planned today. So here I have mentioned some links which you might need when setting up this. You can get the download the file and identity server pack from this link, and you can follow our documentation also from these links to get an idea and get more information about how you can configure user stores. And here's the links to how you can how you can write a custom user store manager. Yeah, that's it. And if you have any questions, you can just ask them in the YouTube comment section, and feel free to join the IS Slack channel from this link, and there you can ask questions. If you can answer the questions, and you can have discussions If you have any problems facing any issues with the identity server or any other related things, you can ask in there. If I show here, you can log into the Slack channel, and so, you will see people are discussing their problems and getting them resolved from here. And the other thing is, you can follow our Twitter channel. Also, you can get get updates and the news about identity server and IAM related things. And yeah, so let's see, is there any questions? Yeah, seems like there are no questions at this moment. And if you have any more questions regarding this or any other things, you can just ask later from Slack channel. And I have put the relevant links also in the comment section. You can find them in there also. Yeah, hope, thank you everyone for joining, and we wish you all the best.